Hey there, everyone. Thank you for joining us back here at the Party Wagon Podcast. My name's Gary. I have a special guest here today, High Anxiety, also known as Brandon. This is a fun little series I'm going to do every once in a while called We Have Cool Friends. I'm just going to highlight, talk to some of my friends in the community that I've known for a while, see what they're up to, see if they're working on anything fun, and just kind of chit-chat about stuff that's going on. So, without further ado, we've got High Anxiety Mr. Brandon over here. How you doing today, dude?
Oh, I am super swell. How are you, Gary?
Man, I am definitely hanging in there. It's been a rough weekend, but now we got to go back to work tomorrow, right?
I don't.
Oh, why don't you have to go back to work tomorrow?
Martin Luther King Day.
Oh my, you're so lucky. We used to have Martin Luther King Day off at Microsoft, but not anymore. It's I guess we just work it
What?
now and
I feel like you could probably push some kind of way to get out of that, but that's
right.
that's it.
So what's really funny about that is you're in Ohio, right? So
Unfortunately,
yeah, I'm an account manager for schools in Ohio, and somehow I didn't end up with your school that you work at, which is very strange, but that's going to be even funnier because if you guys are off tomorrow, I've got nothing to do at work. I genuinely am just going to go into work and just do nothing tomorrow. So that's
yeah,
going to
there
be the
shouldn't be any
weirdest.
schools in there shouldn't be any schools in session tomorrow. So
Right? Yeah, it's so odd. I think I have like one meeting with a school tomorrow, and they're like, I'll come in on my day off just to talk to you. I'm like, all right, cool. So that's awesome. So this is a Turtles podcast that we do. So, look at, not planned. This was absolutely not planned. This was all coincidence, which is absolutely hilarious. Shout out to
yeah.
J Bob for this beautiful Pedro shirt.
Before we move on from that, I want to point out this is he made this for me, and I just absolutely love it. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but
That is
made me a little
awesome.
popsicle stick. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm this is always gonna be just at the forefront of my life. So
That's so good. If anybody that's watching this, not listening, is wondering where my eyes are going, I've got two monitors that I'm looking at, and I actually wanted to see what Brandon had to show me instead of staring at a webcam. So I appreciate you understanding why I've got some wandering eyes here tonight.
I think you're actually a little crazy, and you're just trying to make up for it. So
We're looking at everything around.
so before we even do anything, like I shut my channel down for a little bit. It's gonna go back up by the time this comes up. And I was always the way I did things with like my NECA figures and Super 7 figures is I waited until I had time to record. And I'm a busy guy, I don't have a whole lot of time, so I said boxes and boxes and boxes. Well, something happened. I don't need to go into it, but I shut the channel down for a little bit, and I went into this depression funk, and I'm looking at my all my toys, and I'm like, I'm just gonna open these, and I literally cried. I cried
Oh
when I opened
no.
my Super 7 figures because I'm like, this would have been a great video. And I'm just like, but there's some figures that I haven't opened yet, and you can see some behind me. But I was looking at this, and I've been looking at the Neutrinos figures for a while,
Yeah.
and you're gonna need to look at the second screen for this because it's really bothering me, and I get it. I get why they packaged it this way, but like you have these two, and then back here, he's pushed back a whole lot because of his
Because of
hair.
his hair. I knew that's exactly where that was coming from. Yep.
It bothers me so much. Like, couldn't you like turn his head or something like they
Yeah.
did in the old Playmates boxes? And I'm
I
just sitting there like, I hate that, and I can't. I just can't get over it, and for some reason, I won't just open it. Like they look so frail, and I'm like, I'm not gonna open this until I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. What's funny about that is I never noticed that. So I got them in, and you know me, like I get my stuff like midday, and I cannot wait to like do an unboxing on the channel and show, or in the group in the Party Wagon, and show everybody, you know, what they look like, what my quick thoughts are on them. I'm always like super hyped. So I got that out of the box, ran upstairs, didn't even look at them. I didn't even know if like there was defects on them, if they were broken. I was just ready to go, and I never noticed it. I was in Target maybe 2 months ago, and I saw them on the shelf, and I'm like, wait, did they? Was mine like that? And I couldn't believe that that was so far back. Like you could like tilted his head a little bit, you know, and fit it in there. But yeah, I can't believe that. That drives me nuts.
Yeah, because I didn't understand why the box was so big looking at. Like, this is the size of, it's not the Bebop and Rocksteady size, but it's definitely like a little larger size. Like, if you look at the Rat King and Vernon pack, how like super small it was, this is just bigger. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, why is it so big? And then I realized his little crap eating grin right there. He's like, I'm taking the whole box. But
Yeah.
I'm
Shout
just,
out to who did that? Was that Aaron? Aaron Hazori did the art for that?
I think so. Yeah.
Hell
Isn't
yeah.
it, isn't he do that? Yeah, it's amazing. I
Yeah.
just
I love
and
Aaron. Aaron's such a
when
sweet
he
guy.
posts when he posts those process videos, I'm like, why do I even try to do art? Like why do I like I'm learning on the iPad right now. I'm watching like because I've been an artist my whole life, but I'm also kind of like a jack of all trades, and I think that's more of an insult than it is a compliment. Like I can do everything, but not well.
But now I'm the 100% same man. Like I grew up drawing. That was my passion. I was told my family, I'm like, when I get older, I want to go to Japan and I want to learn how to draw and I want to become a video game concept artist. That was always my dream. And then I ended up doing graphic design and going to college for graphic design, which was kind of like something I picked up in high school. And then I got out and then I started painting and I was like, this is kind of okay. I'm all right at this. And then I started doing customizing, and now I'm trying to go back to doing some drawing. But like I watch all those things that Aaron does, and I'm like, man, I can't do the like the skeletons like he does, like you're supposed to do with cartooning. I just start
Yeah,
drawing. Like I'm like whatever's in my brain, I'm gonna start drawing until it gets on paper. I don't do any like the stuff you're supposed to be doing, and I think that's why I get so frustrated. Is because my vision
same
just doesn't come out.
way. Yeah, and like I think I I think I understand a lot of the digital things enough. My wife taught me like everything Photoshop. I did wedding photography for a little bit, so like I
Oh,
just
I did that
did.
too.
Did you?
I did that. I did photography too. I won Scholastic Awards in I think junior high when 9/11 happened. Actually, World Trade Center. I drove down to New York. Well, I got driven down. I couldn't drive yet, and I took photos of the wreckage, and I got Scholastic. I got a bunch of awards for it. Yeah, so
You gotta
I
show
did
me
that
those in
too.
your spare time. Amazing. But yeah, like I think where I was going with that is like I've learned layers and things like that, and so like I instead of drawing the skeleton, I'll draw something and then I'll go. If it's not right, I can just warp it, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
like, is that the right way to do it, or is that me being lazy? And I don't know, but
No, you just know
uh,
the tools, man. I feel like a lot of people that draw, they're using like Procreate and stuff on their iPads, and
that's
they're
amazing.
not like for me. I use something called Clip Art Studio. It used to be called Manga Studio. I use it on Windows, and it's a lot. It's literally it's built just like Photoshop, and that's what I was trained in. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I'll draw something, and a lot of times I'll do like I'll actually have a picture done. I'm like that head, like a foot soldier's head's a little too wide, so I'll cut it, and then I'll just squish it. I don't redraw it. Yeah. So, I mean, is it cheating at that point, or is it just utilizing your tools that you have at your disposal?
Um, let's just say it's the middle ground.
It's
It's a little
middle
bit of both.
ground. That's what I'll take. Well, I'm interested to see what other people think about that too. The actual artists out there, like J Bob, who I talk to a lot. I keep trying to tell him how to do certain things, and he uses Procreate, so I have no idea how that works.
Okay, I have a great idea, and we need J Bob to be on board, or else he's out. And what we need to do is do like you know how they have like the paint and sip nights.
Right.
He needs to have a day like where we just meet up on a Google or a Discord or something, and he's showing us how to do it step by step, and we all like just submit drawings. Like that would be so cool, and he could teach us a little bit of inside of like how you do things.
Yo, how if we can figure that out, if we can figure out how to like drawing with J Bob, right? A party wagon drawing with J Bob, where all three of us get together. And if you're watching this, Jason, you better be on board. All of us get together, and it's almost like Doodle Bros. It's like just something I can think about. Like that's not even a thing. That's just coming to my brain. It's like it's all be turtle related, and we all have a challenge to draw something, and then we record our screens, and
Oh,
then we post that.
man,
Like how sick would that be?
let's do it.
We gotta figure that out. Hold us
If he
hold us to that. Everybody that watches this, remind us to do this because that sounds fun as hell.
and if he says no, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you, Jason deserves that if he says no. But oh, it'd be so sick because you can record that stuff on. I know Procreate. I see people do it all the
Yep.
time. I'll have to figure it out with what I probably just need some screen recording software on my Surface.
Yeah,
So that'd be sick.
absolutely. I agree.
Hell yeah, we could
Um,
do like
yeah.
we just like do random like foot soldiers doing random things. Like I'm drawing a foot soldier from Shredder's Revenge. It's just a redraw of the foot soldier on the computer in the beginning opening stage. I
Mhm.
want to do a whole T-shirt collage of like all the foot soldiers in like a different Shredder's Revenge like pose that they were just obviously a little stylized, but That's kind of like my new goal right now. Is I want to do something like that. I've already drawn the one, but I haven't done anything else.
That game was so good. I feel like I consumed it so much, and then I don't want to look at it again. But like someday I will play it again. Like that was
Yeah.
so fun, and that
Yeah,
artwork was
I'm
great.
trying to do the get was it 5 or 10, get all the people to level 10 or something like that is one of the
Yeah,
achievements. And I've been slowly doing that, and I don't want to burn myself out. I think I'm at like
yeah.
4. I did
Yeah.
like Raph, I've done Leo, I've done Casey Jones. I'm doing Donatello right now, and I think that's all I've done, to be completely honest. It's tough to like grind that out, and now it's on your phone with Netflix for free. If you have a Netflix subscription, it's in the Games app, which is awesome to have that. So
Yep.
you can kind of
Yep.
play that anywhere. And I
Yeah.
bought it on Switch, and I never play it.
I bought it on Switch, and I was meaning to play that like handheld,
Right,
and then it's on Game Pass, so I was playing it for free on the Xbox, and I
right.
was like loving that, and that's where I mostly play it, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have bought this on Switch. But I also had the idea that like if my kids wanted to play it, they could borrow it because they're not touching my Xbox. So
Right. My really close friend Chris lives in Michigan. He's not a gamer at all, but he really wanted to play the new Shredder's Revenge, and he didn't have anything. And he's like, "How much is a Switch?" And he ended up getting a Switch Lite off of a friend, and he bought Shredder's Revenge. And then we were supposed to play it together, and I went and bought it on my Switch so that we could play it. And then he lives like really close to like an Air Force base or something like that, and it screws with his Wi-Fi, and it somehow like set his NAT type to like something called NAT type B, if anybody's ever heard of that. And the Nintendo hates that. Like they absolutely do
yeah,
not like that at all. So he went from being able to like play online to now he could not play. He can't play anything online. So it's just useless. So he actually ended up just selling me the Switch because he's like, I'm done with this. This is too frustrating, and he sold me the Switch.
that is frustrating.
Yeah.
So
So
while we're on that video game topic, one of my highest videos that I made ever was my reaction to the Cowabunga collection um, trailer, and this came out like in the time that I shut the channel down. But one of the coolest things that like I don't really see anybody talking about is the little collector's edition case that I came
oh
with.
yeah, yeah, that's super nice.
I love this. Like this is such a sweet little thing, and if you like tilt it just right, like the moon's kind of going with it. It's just super cool, and the whole case is awesome. And I don't know, it's fine.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
wanted it. Didn't it come with like a cloth poster or something from Kevin Eastman did it? That's what I wanted out of it. I love that art. I thought it was
I'm gonna get it.
really nicely done.
Yeah, this thing is huge. Like it's a big
Yeah,
box, and um, but yeah, there's got. Oh yeah, look, I haven't even opened this one because I'm playing it on Xbox.
yeah. Game Pass is
But yeah,
awesome, man. Like I love it. I mean, I work for Microsoft, but I'm not gonna sit here and have to tell you Game Pass is
sweet
awesome. It's
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, here's the cloth. It's super
Yeah,
cool.
it's gorgeous. Is it like it's like yeah, it's like a Turtles in Time rendition. Oh my god, look at that. That's incredible. Like
Yeah, I
that
got.
is
I'm gonna frame it and
unreal.
put it somewhere, but I haven't really gotten to it yet because it's super cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that on eBay or something, see if anybody's ever selling it because that's such gorgeous art and it's unique. It's something that you're not gonna just see everywhere. It's something that is specific to that, and you don't see it that often.
And these are like translucent tournament fighter cards.
Right, right.
So
It
cool.
it doesn't come with all of them, right? It's only like select characters, or is it all of them?
I think it's all of them,
Oh,
unless I got lucky. I don't know.
I saw someone in the group the other day asking for looking for specific cards, and I thought I could be wrong. I thought it was for the Cowabunga collection, and they were like didn't have the full set, and they were trying to find the extras or something. I don't know. Maybe they got shorted.
Yeah,
But those
maybe.
are awesome
No.
for the
Yeah, I
price.
don't
They
know.
better have them all.
Yeah. But yeah. So I haven't really enjoyed that to the full extent that I should be, but it's super cool.
Yeah,
Um, I know that we've like discussed Mutant Mayhem to death, but like I really want to talk about it with you because we've like messaged, but
yeah. Might as well, right?
I so let me go through my Turtles timeline to get to this because I'm sure it's all relevant. But 90s movie, absolutely adored it. But I saw it, it was like I think that my parents only took me to see it because it was a back to back feature and
Right.
it was like some adult romance movie. And so I sat there, and I think I was just like, I think I had my Game Boy and like a little worm light playing, um, and then
Oh
when it
man, the
was
worm
over,
lights. Man, that brings me back.
yeah, all you youngins, our games didn't have backlights. We had to light them with
You
an
have to stand
external
under,
light.
you have to stand underneath a street light just to play the damn thing at night.
But
Oh
yeah, so love Turtles 2. Turtles 3, I left a sour taste in my mouth, and then I realized growing up, I was like, oh, it really sucks. But then, like, I love the campiness of it, and um, I actually am like in the minority, and I don't like the CGI movie, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't like it, but I don't.
yeah, if you look back at it real quick, it's like because it's an '07 movie, right? And I feel like we've come so far right now with CGI, and this is where I look at it. Like I love that movie. I thought it was really well done. But looking back at the animation and the visuals, we'll say the graphics of it, uh, compared to what we got in 2012 with the actual series, it's
Mhm.
kind of a stark difference. Like you had a high budget film compared to a series, which usually is worse. I mean, look at Beast Wars compared to like Jurassic Park of
Oh
that
my
same time
god.
frame, right? You got a lot of different with the graphic fidelity. There's a big difference there, but I think the story's good. Story's great, but yeah, I think you should try rewatching it again with maybe lower standards now that we have 2012 out of the way, and like that was kind of a really well done animation style.
I remember loving like the Leo and Raph fight scene. Like I think that's perfection.
Yeah,
But
the rain effects are great in that.
yeah, but like the rest of the movie, the turtles like look like butt to me for some reason. I don't know what it is. But I think I was like in this phase where I'm like I'm too cool for the '03 series, so I didn't watch that, and I am going through it right now with my son. And I love that a lot. I love like the comic like tie-ins and things like that. The 2012 show I shunned at first because everyone else did, and it was like, oh, they have three toes,
Yeah,
and then that is perfection to me. That show is magic,
yeah.
and
I said it on a previous episode. Like it's literally a modernization of what we grew up with a new style. The same kind of stories, just kind of retold in a new way. It's a
and
reboot, reimagining,
yeah, and
and I
from
love it.
what I understand, like it was fans of the original show making this, so like it
Yeah,
was like a love project too, and
yep.
that's what I love. Didn't watch the Bay movies. I will eventually, but I just can't do it right now. Maybe like when we get another good movie, I'll be like, okay, I can watch it now, so I know that the movie franchises aren't doomed.
Just go in
Um,
knowing the bar's very low there, low
yeah,
expectations.
no. Rise, I completely shunned, and
As did I.
my son wanted to watch it, and I was like, Let's start watching it." And the thing that kills me about that show, because we have a few people in that show, like Mike, who's like die hard. I love Rise, and I'm like, I had a conversation with him. I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. So I sat down and I started watching Rise, and there are really cool parts to Rise, but and I also want to preface this by like saying I have the dumbest humor ever, and I love all that dumb. I love every dumb cartoon that comes out, like Clarence on Cartoon Network and Steven Universe, and I love all of it. I love it. So this should be right up my alley. I separated like this is not my turtles, this is a different turtles. So I'm just gonna it's a new generation of thing. I'm just gonna accept it as is. And there are really cool scenes, but it's kind of like how I watched X Files, in that X Files has amazing plot, and then there's like some filler episodes, and you're like, I
Right,
don't really need
right.
to watch that one. So like if you want to rewatch it, and you're just like, I just want to watch the episodes. There's a list you can look up, and it's like how you watch the show. That's the continuity of the plot going through, and that's how I wanted to do it with Rise. So I was watching through it, and my son's loving it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna work on some stuff while you're watching this. And when I notice that like plot elements are coming in, I'm gonna start watching.
No, did they never come?
There's like the first episode has a setup, and you're like, man, something big's gonna happen. And it's like 10 episodes where nothing happens. It's all dumb stuff. And I'm like, what is this? And then all of a sudden, like I go and I say, hey, if this person comes in, let me know. And he's like, hey, and I'm like, okay. And I run down. I'm watching, and the episodes are 15 minutes or 10 minutes, 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that was great, but it was short. And then I want to watch the movie just so I can kind of be like just caught up. But yeah, it's just it doesn't do it for me, and I really want to, but and I don't like Splinter at all. But what's kind of funny is he doesn't call them their names; he calls them their colors.
Mm-hmm.
So like
No.
he'll be yelling at Michelangelo and say, "Orange one, come here!" And it's dumb, but it's funny because it's like new.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where like the foot and their weird mystical foot, like they have like instead of like the foot on their head, they have like a foot shaped fire. I don't know. Um, but one of them goes, "Go get the purple one." He's like, "How do you know his name?" And I was like, "What?" That was pretty funny. Like I like that. But yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
But
I've never even attempted it. I have. It's one of those things where I just look at it and I'm like, I can't. I just won't. I know I won't enjoy it at all. Like with the
no,
powers that I can't do it.
there has to be a list online of like the essential episodes, and I think if I can find that, I'm gonna watch it, and then I will recommend you yes or no to watch it. Uh,
I'll watch it if there's a continuity timeline that
yeah.
I can
I
check
mean,
out.
there's just so dumb episodes where like maybe this will lead somewhere later on, but there's one where they're going to this like bar in an alley. It's like a nightclub or something, and they go through a maze, and if you go through the maze, you get the world's best pizza. And I'm just like, what is this? What is this? So anyway, all that to say, I'm going into Mutant Mayhem with cautious optimism, and I have high hopes because I'm really liking a lot of the things that Seth Rogen's doing. Like he's behind the boys, and I love the boys. And I realize this is going to be like more game aimed towards kids, but I think he's going to push some things and have a little bit of boundaries and um, boundaries crossed. But I do have some high I have some high hopes, but I'm gonna rein them in.
Yeah.
A lot of just like the cool details, like when you look at Donatello's bow and you zoom in on it, there's like he writes his name in hiragana, I think it is Japanese, and he's got like carvings into it. I'm just like, that's a lot of detail that I feel like if this was just a half-assed movie, wouldn't be in it.
Yeah, he's got
So I,
like a bunch of those little holes. Like he has like holes all over his staff. And I'm wondering if those are going to be like if stuff's going to pop out of it. There's going to be little machines that pop out of it, or like he has attachments to it, or it's just the design element. I don't know, but like I mean, yeah, there's a lot of intricacies into each one of those characters, which I think is pretty neat, and I'm excited to see what they do with it.
so I'm going to like stay where I am mentally with that movie until we get a trailer. I do think we're going to get one soon. I would say by February we'll have a trailer. I'm not an industry inside person, but the way that I know movies to work in movie studios, like they want to make sure that they space it out enough that you're not going to lose interest, but you're going to be excited. And also, I think you mentioned it with just like the popularity of Ninja Turtles right now. I feel like they do want to capitalize on that. So I think at some point they will release it. And again, that's with no inside information. That's with me being just a dumb idiot. I'm looking to see some trailer soon, and I think that we'll be surprised.
Yeah, they I know like internally there's some they had that conversation going on. Like, do we ride that high? With all the leaks going right now, everybody's talking about it. It's popular. Do we ride that high and drop a trailer, or do we wait for it to hit a lull and then drop a trailer and bring it back up? That's what they're trying to figure out right now. But my hot take is it's January. We're probably gonna get this film in July, maybe. It's a summer movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to find out something here soon. They have to start building up anticipation. Obviously, the marketing's starting. The Pitos leak that happened. There's a couple of those other, promo shot leaks that started getting taken down. Obviously, we're not going to show them, so we don't get a copyright strike. But
You've seen him.
yeah, but you've seen them. But yeah, it's they've there's something here soon. Probably February, because February is a slow month for any kind of entertainment. February March kind of turned into like a video game release schedule for like games recently, but I don't think there's really anything coming out February or March this year when it comes to video games. I can't think of anything entertainment wise that we're getting, like movies. So I mean, that'd be a good time to drop a trailer, and that's going to be the talk of the internet. So, if you're watching this, anybody at Paramount, drop the trailer in February.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how marketing works across companies, but the new Ant-Man's coming out in February, and it'd be like,
Oh,
if
that's
you put
right.
it in there, if you put it in there, that'd be cool. I don't know.
That is right. That's I think that's a good audience. I know that they're two different companies, but
Yeah,
sometimes
did
they
they do that?
they play to the audience. And Ant Man's a fun movie. This one I think is gonna be a little more serious. But Ant Man, Paul Rudd, that's always a fun, bring your kids type thing for the Marvel franchise. On top of it already being kind of like a kids thing. So yeah, I would drop a Turtles trailer in that. You're gonna get views because they're hyping Ant Man up to be like this new giant. Was it Phase 4? Is that we're in Phase 4? Is like a big thing. So Ant Man's supposed to be big. Put Turtles there for a trailer.
Super Bowl's in February.
Oh, that's right. I don't watch
They'll probably.
sports.
No, I don't
Oh,
either, but they'll
but
probably do it for that.
I mean that's true. They've got money. Viacom, Nickelodeon. They've got the money to drop that. Why not?
They probably will.
That is kind of a good idea. I didn't even think
Because
about
like I
that.
think I think Nickelodeon runs like Super Bowl stuff during that day too. So like I wouldn't be surprised if they did, even if it wasn't like during the Super. I don't know. I feel like they would. I feel like they would. I feel like that's really big, and they know kids are gonna be watching, and I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
that's gonna be. Yeah, that's very very like that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So you heard it here first. Brandon has hypothesized and predicted the future. On top of that, that we're gonna get a trailer during the Super Bowl. I mean, that'd be pretty sick though. Or we just get like
yeah,
a teaser. Give us like a small teaser, like not even a
yeah.
trailer. Like let us just
Drop
hear
a
the
million
voices.
on a 10-second teaser.
Right. I think what people are so everybody's eating it up and where they're eating it up, is that the expression? Chewing it up. They're chewing it and spitting it out. They're not liking the new designs, but supposedly the people that are behind it, like the animation studios, like it's like people that worked on Into the Spider-Verse and the Avengers movies and other Marvel movies for special effects. So give us like, I don't know, 5 seconds. Like, show us some quick animation of what we're about to expect during the Super Bowl. Build that
Yeah.
hype up. Maybe give us some voices. Um, there's some rumored high level voices that might be in there. Some maybe make
Yeah,
cameos.
we
I
don't
don't
either,
know.
do we? We have nothing. We just have leaked images and a logo. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and yeah, a couple of leaked pull toys from a company called Funrise. I do know. So as weird it is as it is, some people that might not know, Playmates reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and they want to send me some stuff. I was told that they're gonna send me Mutant Mayhem stuff as well as the newer things, but I don't know if that's gonna happen with the newer stuff. I know it's gonna happen with like the new repros that they're doing, but they had mentioned Mutant Mayhem. Maybe I'll get that stuff. If I do, if it's able to be shown, I'll show it off in the party wagon. Maybe I'll film it and then I'll put it on both. I'll do like a actual recording and not live stream it. But I mean, I'm excited to see how the toys are. The Rise toys are actually pretty damn cool.
Oh,
Everybody keeps
I
shitting on the new stuff that Playmates keeps putting out. And but the Rise toys are actually really well made. To be completely
yeah.
honest.
I like
Um,
them. So like even though I don't care for the show, I think while I don't like Raphael's design, I
it's the
love
only
like
one
the
I bought.
different. I like that they differentiate everything. Like I like that Leonardo has the stripes on his eyes, and I like Michelangelo's just like I'm a Michelangelo fan. I know you're a Raph guy, but like I have like the giant Michelangelo right here, and I just think it's super cool. Like I don't know why he's got three nunchucks. I don't understand that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
I
my
just like how
gripe.
adorable he is.
That was my gripe. Like, yeah, like I feel like those three turtles look good, and then you got Raph, the big brute, and like it just didn't fit. I know he's always got to be the big brute. He's the muscle, but no, like kind of keep him within the same continuity of size, please. Like that, it kind of ruined that for me. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
those designs are pretty good. They look good in toy form. And then if anything, I picked up the new Giants. I've got them sitting over here. I picked
Mhm.
up the new storage shell turtles, and I compared them. I opened up a Raphael, and I compared them. And if you bought last year's repros, did you buy the last year pre-pros?
I refuse.
So I've got them. I've got them on my wall here. You can probably actually see them on part of the video, but like these little guys, right? I did a lot of customs with them because they were kind of everywhere. Just real flimsy, rubbery kind of plastic. You can rip their arms off from the elbow, which was really bad.
Yeah.
Like it was like a rubbery plastic. These are not perfect to the originals when it comes to the plastic they use. Obviously, the color. I think you pointed that out. Like they cannot get the Leonardo color right, but the plastic is way better this time around. And the same with the Giants. The Giants feel good. So they're headed in the right direction. We're not getting to like the Bebop with the black shoes. It doesn't. Hopefully, not moving forward.
Yeah. Well, I do have this Michelangelo with a trench coat. Oh, I didn't. I'm just joking. This is the original one.
I saw
Playmate.
those. I saw those the other day. I passed.
I just can't do it. I just can't. I refuse. And like I did buy the 2 packs of the Triceratons and the Shredder.
Yeah.
Because like I did it for the video, and then I painted the eyes white because it just looks infinitely better. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing right now, and I hope it's because they're gonna just wow us with the new movie figures coming out or something. And I don't know, man.
I don't know why. Like, I mean, I get it. I get the idea behind releasing them as singles because they repackaged old turtles that we already had. But I mean, who did Donatello come with? Did he come with Shredder?
Came with Shredder.
So you can go to Target right now and you can get Shredder with this little tiny baby head, for $20. He's $20 at Target right now on shelves. No one's buying them. Yeah, look at this little baby head. You might not see it on camera. It is so small. There you go, move it. There you go, perfect. It was behind the Party Wagon logo. You see it in person, it's so small. If you go to Walmart.com, Walmart's actually selling the 2-pack with Donnie right now for I think $23 plus tax. It's probably free shipping. It's always free shipping, it seems, with them. You pay an extra $3 and you get Shredder and Donatello. And they're not terrible figures. Like, they're not the worst, but look at that.
Why does his like pecs move his body? Also, just love the floating shoulder pads
the
too.
floating pads, yeah. So you don't ruin the articulation in the shoulders.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it's not a good figure, but to the movie ones, right? I had the movie ones. They were cool. I actually still have Raphael. I bought 2 of the Raphaels. I bought the OG release and I bought the Walmart re-release that had the extra heads in it. Because I'm a Raph collector, so I always had all these Raphaels. And my honest take, it's the trench coats are actually nice because it covers up all the really ugly articulation. Like, they articulate well, they're just ugly. The cuts, the pins, they don't blend very well.
You talking about this line or a different one?
What was that?
You talking about this line?
Yeah, the movie ones. Yeah, the new re-releases as the singles, I think they look good because they have the trench coats. Like, it's covering up some of that bad articulation. They're not terrible figures, and when we got them, they were great. But
yeah, at the time.
NECA came out and just made us. They just spoiled us. We are absolutely spoiled with the real ones that look nice.
I agree.
Yeah, this isn't. We're all just showing stuff on our desk. This obviously isn't him pure. But this is the one I'm working on. Like, they spoiled us. Like, they're leaps and bounds way better than what Playmates had given us. Just give us some new figures, Playmates. There's a great customizer. You ever heard of DeFoot Toys? DeFoot. He's doing like incredible things in the Playmate style. Incredible things. Just hire that guy, Playmates, and just put out that stuff. We'll all buy it.
Well, I think it was Justin on the. I think it was Justin. I think on the podcast he's talking about the Stranger Things turtles.
Yeah,
and he was right. They're great. I did a black wash on these, and I'm gonna actually do a full repaint. But these figures are just awesome. Like, they really are really good figures.
Yeah, what's really funny about that is I always scoff at them. I'm like, I get it. They're pretty big figures too, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get these. And it was either Justin or Oscar on one of our podcasts was talking. I think Oscar really likes them, and I saw someone like repainted one the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy a set. I'm gonna repaint them, but I'm gonna buy Raphael. Nowhere to be found near me. All Leonardos. I'm like, what the hell? The time I finally go to get that shelf warmer and it's sold out. Yeah, they're beautiful. Like, if you put some paint on them.
The crazy thing is that the bodies are a little different too. Like, they're not all the same. Like, they're definitely the same, but like I think they have different like gashes in their chest and stuff like that. So But yeah, and I like that the tail and the faces just look really good. Like I'm just really impressed with this, and I bought it as a joke. Like I bought it as I'm gonna tear this apart on my video, and then
Yeah.
I love them. I can't wait for the next set.
I think all he
So
needs now, based on the one you've done, man, I think all he needs is probably like a matte finish with a matte spray paint, get some of that
yeah,
gloss off there, and
yeah.
that will make that black pop pretty well. That's
I am
my
gonna
opinion.
I am gonna paint the chest though, because I don't like that yellow. It's a really weird
It's
yellow.
a weird. It's like it doesn't know if it wants to be like banana yellow or not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it's they're great. So if I see a ref, I think I'm gonna go out tomorrow. So if I see one, I'll grab one. Um, but yeah, I was really impressed, and I just you know how like people do swap figures and they'll like take them back to the store, which is bad. Don't do that. But I cut the packaging for the turtles, took both turtles out, put Hopper and Elle together, and then I took it to my local toy shop and sold that to them. And I was like,
There you
look, it's a Stranger Things dude.
I made a funny joke and it absolutely landed flat. And I think I did it in the group chat where I was like, "Yeah, can you imagine if people buy those new Ninja Elite, the Leo or the Mikey?" And it's like, you imagine if they swapped out the figures under the trench coat with the same figures, like the old releases, it just swapped it with like put it back in there and brought it back. Like,
Just a newer version.
dude, joke
My
fell
head
flat. It was
my
so
had a
funny.
wobbly head, so I just swapped it out. Yeah.
Man, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
well, I had when I bought when I bought these crappy things again with the giant shells.
Yeah.
When I bought those again, I bought the main reason I really bought them. Like one, it was gonna be to rip on them, but the other one was gonna be that I think when I bought these, I was buying them and I couldn't find Leo, and my aunt got it for me, and she's a notorious eBay shopper. And I think it was like a bootleg one, or it was just played with heavily, and so like everything was wobbly. I think the arm was glued to the body, so you couldn't move it at all. And I was like, I have a chance to actually have the figure the way it was intended. So
Yeah.
I jumped
Dude,
on.
really funny story about that. This one is kind of embarrassing. Not many people know this story outside of April, my fiance. So I had bought Leo, Donnie, and Raph, right? When they were at Toys R Us, they were Toys R Us exclusives. I didn't have Mikey. And this is 2013, 2014. Definitely 2014. I bought Michelangelo off eBay. And to this day, I don't know if he was a bootleg or not because he looked right, but he was the opposite. He was super stiff. All of his joints were really stiff. I didn't know about the hot water trick back then. I was an idiot. You know, it was almost 10 years ago now. I didn't know about the hot water. I didn't have a heat gun. So my dumbass decided to take a box cutter and I was trying to stick it in the joint to try to
Shape.
like break it. Like it was almost like trying to break the glue, so it kind of separated it. And I was pushing it so hard and I slipped. And you can't tell anymore, but I cut off the top of my finger, my thumb. And I remember doing it, and I was right next to my sink, and I'm like, "Oh no!" And I went in the sink, I turned the water on, blood's everywhere, and and, and I can't remember if I told April. I said, "Get me." I was like, head's hanging in. I'm like this. I'm like, "April, get me a chair." So she brings me the chair, and I think she put the chair sideways, so my arm was up on the back of the chair while I was in there. And then I'm like, I'm gonna pass out, and she goes, "What?" And I just fall backwards off the chair, smash my head, and then all I remember is I'm just laying down, and she's like, "Gary, Gary," and she's like trying to wake me up, and I was like, "What?" And I was just sweating bullets, blood everywhere.
That's not the direction I thought you were gonna tell me.
And that is, I will never forget that. And I was like, and now to this day, I'm like, did I buy a freaking bootleg or like, is that legit? Because like, it was one of those things where if I bent it, it would have snapped the arm off. So I was like, lesson learned: don't put your thumb right next to where you're putting like 100 pounds of pressure with a box cutter because it will cause issues. Thankfully, I'm good. Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
thumb's
well,
fine.
with you saying that, that's kind of like how my figure was. Like it was very stiff, and so I wonder if that was like a bootleg thing. Like I don't know, but
Yeah.
so we it seems like we had a similar figure. Um, so I don't know,
Yeah, so
but
whoever I sold those to, you got a bloody Mikey on your hands since I sold those years ago. I
A
didn't want
piece
them.
of Gary. A piece of Gary. When TMNT Wagon reaches 1 million followers and starts doing paid subscriptions, that person's gonna say, "I bought this from Gary, and his blood is inside of it."
Feel free to send it back. I'll sign the bottom of it. So I'll do it like they did with those Kiss comic books, which I have 2 of in my basement, where they put their blood in the ink and they printed these comic books. So we'll do that. I'll ink sign the bottom of it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Holy
they're
crap.
worth. I saw one sell not too long ago for like $1,800. I've got 2 of them in fairly decent condition. I inherited it from someone that passed, so I'm not a Kiss fan. No, none of that. None of that boomer juggalo stuff for me. I'm not a Kiss guy.
They're boomer. Oh my god.
It is. It's juggalo boomers, man. Face paint, whoop whoop. I don't know. I don't know what Kiss does. They do the tongue thing, but this has been fun, man. Like it's great catching up with you. You know, for anybody that doesn't know, Brandon and I we talk every once in a while, but we're both very busy with our jobs. Brandon was the one that got me to come out of my comfort zone months ago. Surprisingly, about I think it was at February was the last time we connected on Discord, which is crazy. And that's when we recorded. What did we record? We talked about. Did we talk
We
about
talked about
leaks?
we talked about the toy-a-thon or whatever it was called, haul-a-thon.
Holothon, dude, that's so funny. Yeah, you and I talked about Holothon, and that was a very popular video. That thing popped
It
off.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my first. That was my first like little podcast interview I've ever done, and I mean I owe it to you to kind of like make me who I am. As I'm stoked to do this stuff. It's super fun, and it's almost like we're coming full circle a year later, man.
It has been a pleasure to feel like I'm in the inner circle a little bit, and it's just like when you guys asked me to be an affiliate or whatever. What do we call it? Host, friends.
I don't know. Best. I mean, I'm calling it. It was partners and friends. I think is what we
Yeah.
called it. Yeah.
When I was asked to do
Yeah.
that and make a little blurb, I was just pumped. So
That was all.
I'm
That
excited.
was Steven, man. That was a Steven. Steven
Oh
wanted to do
yeah,
the website, and I was like, I want this on the website. And everybody that's on that at tmntpw.com, man, like everybody that we handpicked for that are like people that I personally adore in the community. They are not just random people that like bought on. We don't make any money on this, so it's just people that we were like, this person fucking rules. Like, let's put him on there. We got Mad Hatter, we've got you, we've got Mutated. Is it Mutated Customs? It's Jesselyn. Her stuff's incredible. One of my best friends, Tom Bowman's on there. So hopefully we'll get him on one of these episodes here soon. He wants to do this. Maybe we'll do it in person. I don't know.
I'll never be able to afford that, but I'm just astonished. They're just so awesome, his shoes. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I know I'm super happy to I always feel like when I'm messaging you, I'm like, is he too busy for me now? Like he's got a whole thing going on, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw out there and see what happens. And
My phone. So while we've been sitting here, I've gotten. Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3. I have 3 new chats, and then I have 2 in my message requests who people I've never talked to, and that's like on my Facebook, man. Yeah, and I've got 8 new messages, 20 plus new messages, and then someone sent me a live video on Instagram. So that's my fucking life.
and you always find time for me, so thank you.
Oh, you're my number one. Mad Hatter didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I talked to Nier a lot, but I not as much as I talked to you. So, but
Well, when my channel should be up by the time this posts, but when you go to Mad Hatter, go to me next. It's just a lot of this, just a lot of stupid, just ad-libbed videos that I make. So
yeah, man.
me and my buddy Ty,
Yeah,
and Ty,
we are
that's great.
unfiltered and raw. You, me, Mad Hatter, like no editing. No one's paying us to talk about it. We just kind of like go in and give it our all, like our true feelings, which is pretty awesome.
I'm pretty eccentric, and I go into some pretty big rants and laugh fests. If you like dumb humor, just check out my channel.
Yeah, my favorite thing on your channel is when you're like talking about something, you screw up, and you just reflash your intro. Dude, that shit gets me every time. You'd be like, "Yeah, welcome to the." It's like boop 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 boop. I laugh every single time, dude. It's so freaking good.
Well, thank you.
But yeah, so Brandon, thank you for joining me. When I post this video, hopefully his high anxiety will be back up. I'll link it down at the bottom so you can go check it out and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Like I said, literally, we have cool friends. Brandon's one of my best friends in the community when it comes to anything Turtles related, customs, collecting, shooting the shit, life, family. Like, we talk about family a lot. We just kind of, became friends. So next time I'm down in Ohio, we'll hang out. And
Please. I was so sad when you came to Columbus and I missed it. I was so
dude,
sad.
PowerCon, man, and we're not going. I don't think we're going this year because Tom booked a vacation. We were supposed to be at PowerCon, but PowerCon screwed us over. Him specifically. So we won't be down that way, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll drive down just for the hell of it. But yeah, maybe I'll see you then. We'll get some root beers since I don't drink, and we'll go from there.
Sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for watching us. Thanks, Brandon, for jumping in. And I look forward to doing more of these. So this is gonna be fun. Peace.